Welcome back. It's your girl Vanessa Elaine. If you are new to my channel, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Today we're gonna be diving into the things that we need to let go before 2023 is over, because we're stepping into the new year with a brand new mindset. Not really a brand new mindset, but a renewed mind. We're tapping into the person that God already ordained us to be. Okay, no more settling, no more dumbing ourselves down, no more carrying baggage, no more going into the new year with the same mindset, the same self-sabotaging habits, the same toxic cycles, and attaching ourselves to people who were not meant to go into our next seasons. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stay tuned. If you're an OG of mine, you know this background because this is where it all started. On my YouTube journey. I'm at my mom's house for the holidays, but I can't leave you girls out. So let's get into the things that we need to let go before 2023 is over, because we have to glow up. In order for you to glow up, these are the things that you need to let go before the new year. Let's start now. We have 5 days until the new year. Well, by the time you see this video, it might just be 4 days. Okay, but it's never too late to start. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes here. And if you hear the background noise, just know this is a Caribbean household and you already know how that goes. They don't respect the YouTube. They don't respect it. That's it. Simple as that. Okay, let's get into it. So the first thing that you're gonna need to let go of is that scarcity mindset, that lack mindset, where you think that what God has for you, that is not in abundance, that there is lack, that there's not enough for you. So you act out of desperation. You try to move before God tells you to go. You try to do things under your own control, and you already know that only ends up in mess. So in this season, in this new year, we're letting go of that lack mindset. We can no longer think that what God has for us, that there is not an abundance of it, or he doesn't have enough for us to go around. Like, whatever you're believing God for, just believe that it's on its way. Believe that there's enough, and believe that God is not going to run out of that good thing. Okay? That good thing that you've been waiting for, that thing that you have been praying for, that it's on its way. That God has enough for you. That's number one. Number two, I see the girls have a problem with this, especially since social media has become a large part of our lives. Comparison, letting go of comparison. We cannot compare ourselves. That is a thief of joy, because you're comparing someone else's day 100 to your day number 2. Or you're just comparing what you see on social media, which is all a facade. I'm not saying everything is fake on social media. They may be living that life for real, but you don't know what they had to go through. You don't even know if they're living that life for real. That's why you shouldn't focus on what someone else has going on, because you lose sight of what you have going on. You are unfocused when you're focused on someone else's business. When you're looking at someone else's life and you're not only admiring it, but it turns into jealousy, it turns into envy. God cannot use you in the way he wants to use you, because your heart has been contaminated. So the more you compare yourself to someone else's life that you don't even really know, the more it takes away from who you think you are or who you believe yourself to be. It only tears at your self-esteem, it only tears at your self-confidence, because you feel like you're in lack, because you feel like you're not enough and that you will never get the things that they have. So it turns into jealousy or envy, or jealousy and envy. And you start to kind of resent that person, because you feel like, why do they deserve what they have and I don't have it? But if you take the focus off of what they have and actually put in the work that is needed of you, you can have just as much as they do. But that's what the enemy will do, is try to trick you out of your position. The enemy will make you think that what they have, only they can get it. But it can be yours as well. So we're letting go of comparing yourself. And I know it's easier said than done, especially if you find yourself comparing yourself to other people online. What I suggest you do, and this is the only way this is going to fix this, you have to unfollow those people. The people that you're holding in your heart because you're comparing yourself to them. So you have jealousy or envy towards their lifestyle, what they portray on social media. You just have to unfollow them. That, like, just for your mental health, just for this glow up process, you have to unfollow them. Unfollow every single page that you compare yourself to, even people that you probably look up to. This is not the season to follow them. Don't shoot the messenger. We're letting go of comparison. And another thing, number three, let's keep it cute. These think pieces about someone else's life, please, let's leave that in 2023. Because I'm tired of scrolling on social media and I just see groups of people on live discussing someone else's probably marriage, relationship, that energy that they are using to talk about someone else's life, and it's always in a negative light. Let me just say that it's never in a positive light. It's always negative, and it's all that those opinions are not warranted. Those opinions are not needed. And of course, we all have our opinions, but to sit on a platform that can be used for more things than speaking negatively about someone else's life that you do not know, that doesn't sound like moving in purpose. That doesn't even sound like doing something that is pleasing to God. So no more think pieces about other people's life. Let's leave that in 2023. How about that? I'm tired of seeing it. Scrolling down my timeline. I didn't ask for it. Number 4, the 50-50 debate. Why is this still a debate 10 years later? Why are we still discussing what is the norm? What is the standard in someone else's household? Whatever works for you, works for you. Because a lot of times I feel like if a woman is comfortable or a man is comfortable with doing the whole 50-50 thing, but then they get on social media and everybody has all these different opinions, and that woman may see the woman that doesn't pay 50-50 has this certain lifestyle, and now she starts to compare her life to that person, and now she starts to feel like what she has is not enough. And before, it wasn't a problem. Before, she was exposed to something else, and she really wasn't exposed to it because it wasn't introduced to her life. Her partner did not introduce her to that, but she's looking at someone else's life and comparing it to her own, as if that wasn't enough before. So let's debunk that whole 50-50. Whatever works for you, works for you. Do not allow what other people are saying online make you believe in something else. If you truly have your mind set on, I don't want to do 50-50, let it just be that. But don't change your moral, your values based off of someone else, based off of society, based off of culture and what everybody else is saying, because you don't want to seem like you're settling for less. If you know that that person loves you and this is the best y'all can do as of right now, then work with what you got. That's what I'm gonna say. Like that is not a standard for everyone. You know, I have my own standards, but I'm not putting that on anybody. Do what works for you in your home. We're not no longer going to have this debate as if men who don't make a certain amount of money, who are not able to pay all of the bills, are less than. We're not going to just tear down people like that. That what you have in the bank account determines your value as a person. We're not going to do that in 2024. We're not going to no longer devalue men based off of their bank account, because they are more than just money. What is money? Come on now, let's judge people for who they are, the fruits that they bear. Number 5, the first date debacle. Listen, I don't know too much about what they was talking about, Cheesecake Factory, about the first date, but I just feel like, why is that even a discussion? If you like somebody and they want to take you on a walk to the park, what is the big deal? But I feel like in today's age, in today's society, people have these walls built up and nobody wants to get hurt. Nobody wants to feel like they're being taken advantage of or played. And so they feel like they have to get something out of the deal, and that determines the value, their value, based off of what they get from the person. And literally, if a man has money, I'm gonna just say this, because I'm a woman, so I can't speak from the other side, but when a man has money, he can buy you anything, but that does not mean he values you. So what you get from a man does not mean anything if he has the means to get it. I'm just saying that. So that does not determine how much he values you. How he treats you determines if he values you. So if that person, if you like this person, you've been talking on the phone with this person for some weeks and you getting to know this person, and then y'all just happen to probably go for an ice cream date. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? If you want, or not even 2-3 weeks, because by 3 weeks, maybe y'all got to know each other enough, but y'all can go on that lavish first date. Maybe in a week, we still getting to know each other. You mean to tell me if you really like the guy, you're not going to go on an ice cream date because you feel like if you post about it? Well, don't post about it. How about that? Don't post about it. Not everybody have to know everything. That's the thing. Y'all be oversharing, and that's the problem, because you get these unwarranted opinions that make you feel like, well, maybe I shouldn't accept that. Maybe I am accepting less. Did you feel good about it when you were doing it? When you were out on a date, did it make you happy? Did you enjoy yourself? That is all that matters. That is all that matters. Do not let these people that probably are selling it for way less because they just type it on the screen, they're not showing the evidence of how many things they settled and how many times they settled, and that's why they have this mindset of, well, at least I'm getting this, at least I'm getting that. There's nothing about that is a form of love or humility, and that is not of God. Like, that's out of selfish ambition, self-righteousness, selfishness. That's not, So we're no longer going to be talking about this first date. Do what you want. You set the standards. And what standards are we living by? God's standards for us. You like those $200 dates? Yes, go on them. But don't let that just be the end all be all. You get what I'm saying? Like, move around. Like, let's be realistic. I love me a good 5-star restaurant. But do you think I go out to 5-star restaurants every single day? I don't. Do I go to the mom and pop restaurants and enjoy myself and enjoy the food? I do. So if I enjoy that for myself, why, when I have a partner, somebody I'm really feeling or I really like, and he takes me to these places, I will feel like he's less of a person or he just doesn't value me? Like, make it make sense. That's why you just have to have your, like, cut out the noise. We're just gonna cut out the noise, okay? Number 6, negative self-talk. This is a big one. I actually did a live on this, and I saved it on my YouTube. You can find it maybe 2 to 3 videos before this one. We're ending that, but the only way that you're going to end negative self-talk is if you have the word in you, and that means spending intimate time with God, increasing your prayer life. Your prayer life is going to be so important in this new season of your life. If you want your life to never to look the same, you have to get in your Bible and you have to get in the presence of the Lord, spending intimate time. Because sometimes, you're like, I'm reading, I'm praying, but I don't hear from God. We have to train up our minds to be quiet after prayer and wait for God to speak. A lot of us just get up and go about our day. We treat prayer as if it's a task and not a communication with God. Not like us spending time with God. We literally like, okay, I gotta pray. I know I gotta pray. This is what I have to do. This is based off of my due diligence. I have to do this. And then we just get up. But what if he wanted to say something back? You said a lot there. You said a lot. He wanted to speak back, but you hurry up and went about your business. And now you can't hear him. And now you feel like you have no direction. You're lost because you praying. You don't get anything back, no feedback. He wants to give you feedback. So this next one is a big one. Friendships and relationships that are not fruitful. Leave it in 2023. I know every year we talk about leaving people. No, this year, in 2023, I need you to leave those people and leave them there. And we're not going to pick up those same kind of people in 2024, because we're no longer going to attach ourselves to people who don't bear any fruit, any godly fruit. And what are the fruits of the Spirit? Shall we? Let's go to Galatians. So it's Galatians chapter 5, verse 22. It says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. If those people are not bearing those good fruits, are they really your people? Are we not trying to better our lives? Are we not trying to be who God has called us to be? So why do we connect ourselves? Why do we yoke ourselves with people who are not aligned, who are not even like-minded? So we're saying bye to unfruitful relationships. So I just read the fruits of the spirit. So if these people are not bearing those fruits, you know that the relationship will not be fruitful. And we have to stop building these relationships off of aesthetics. It's okay to want friends who have the same style as you and have the same interests as you. But if that is just the foundation of the relationship and it just doesn't evolve from there, it's just like, where will y'all go? How will y'all grow together? How would this person edify you? How would you edify the person? Iron sharpens iron. So how would this relationship work? Will you be the only one sharpening this person? And then what in turn happens? When you keep using a sharp knife over and over and over and over, what happens to that knife? It becomes dull. And it can't, what it used to be able to cut through, it can no longer cut through anymore. It becomes useless. It becomes that knife that you put in your drawer that you never pick up again. I'm just being real. So we're no longer going to connect ourselves with people who don't bear good fruit, who don't bear the fruits of the spirit, who don't walk, who is not trying to live this life for God. Like, we're not going to play about Jesus in this season. We're going to be very intentional about the friendships that we do make in 2024, because we have done the work with ourselves, on ourselves, and we know what good relationships look like and what it feels like. And if you want, let me give an example of relationships that are not fruitful. You know, hanging around people who probably don't have the same mindset as you, but you have the same interests. But when you guys go out, or when there's a serious issue that happens in your life, or something you're experiencing in your life, and you want to vent to those friends, or you want some advice, or you want some encouragement, those friends aren't going to be able to give you what you need, because they don't even probably have that on the inside of them. Your friendships are the community that you help build. Your friendships are the family that you choose. So choose wisely. And number 8, we're letting go of this hustle mentality. Children of God, we do not hustle. We do not hustle. Hustle, money is an idol, because you're moving here and there. It's not moving in purpose. We're living we're living in purpose. When you're living in purpose, you're not hustling. You're focused on one thing. You're focused on the goal. You have the goal. You have the purpose in mind, and you're working towards it. You're not trying to get money to pay this bill and that. No. You're working on that thing that God gave you, that job. You're going to do your best at it. You're going to work at as if you're working for God, and it's going to provide. It's going to become overflow. Not only provide, but it's going to overflow, because we are called to live abundant lives. So that hustle mentality is not the lifestyle that we should be living in 2024, especially if we're walking into what God has called us to do, especially if we're walking into who God has called us to be. We're no longer hustling, because that's out of selfish ambition. When you're hustling, you're not doing the things of God. You're only doing it for financial gain. And we are more than that. When you try to get money and you're all over the place, you're going to start to be burnt out. And who wants to be burnt out? There's so much life to live. We don't have time for that. Work smarter, not harder. Number 9, maintenance. Listen, I've seen the videos, the $1,500 maintenance, and the girls think they have to spend this much, and the girls don't have the money. And listen, been there. I've been there. I'm guilty too. Because maintenance can get out of hand. That's why I started to learn how to do things on my own. Yes, I believe that you should still put yourself together, but you don't have to go broke to look good. If you find yourself overspending, that's a disservice to yourself. That's you being financially irresponsible. And in 2024, we are saving more. We are becoming financially responsible. We're living a life financially free of debt. We are no longer going to be the borrowers, but we're going to be the lenders. So With that being said, if we have this kingdom mindset when it comes to money, we can no longer spend money frivolously, like just spending it like we have no care in the world, like we done lost our mind. So definitely putting a budget together. And there's some things you may need to cut out because literally you really don't need it. Like lashes. Right now I have my minks that I did myself. Lashify. Sponsor your girl. But I did my mink lashes. I got my hair done. This is going to stay in until the New Year's. Okay. My makeup, I do my makeup myself. My nails, I can do my nails myself. And if I can do it myself, I'm doing it myself. Anything that I can do myself, I'm going to do it myself just to save the money. Buying clothes every time you need to step out, you need a capsule wardrobe. You need to maximize on your wardrobe, buying more basic tees, maybe timeless pieces, maybe like a coat or a jacket to pair with some things, some belts, so you can match up these outfits. Like one shirt can probably give you 4 to 5 outfits. So just think smarter. I don't believe in being cheap, but I believe in being a little frugal, not cheap, because good quality costs. So you can spend money on quality things, but it'll last you so much longer. All my quality pieces have been with me for years and they look brand new because I take care of my stuff and the quality is just there. So it was worth the money. We can't spend money as if we're living back home and we don't have real girl bills. Number 10, what is self-care supposed to look like? And let's leave that in 2023. How self-care is supposed to only look one way. Do what works for you. What do you consider self-care? This is where you get to know who you are. What do you consider self-care? It does not matter what social media says, but what do you consider taking care of yourself? If it means you going to buy some coffee, sitting at a coffee shop reading a good book, then you do that. That is your self-care. If it means just laying in bed an extra hour, do that. If it means going to garden, just do that. If it means going to feed the homeless, that brings joy to your heart, go and do that. If it just means getting a massage, getting your nails done, do just that. But I don't want anyone to look at self-care one way, because there's not just one way to take care of yourself. You know exactly what you need. And if you don't, that means you need to sit with yourself and ask yourself, what is it that you need? This is where you get to know who you are. Not what Amy on social media is saying is self-care and what you need to do and what you need to buy. Because that's how we end up spending all this money, because we think we need all this stuff in order to satisfy a need, and that's instant gratification. And that's not going to happen, because that's not exactly what you need. That's not what's going to relax you. That's what relaxes that person. So get to know what exactly you need in your self-care regimen. My camera just died, but I'm back. Another thing is number 11, soft life standards. That's another thing. So soft life standards goes hand in hand with the self-care regimen and what self-care is supposed to look like. Yeah, soft life to me is knowing who you are to the core. That means you're not influenced by past traumas, past hurts, betrayals, none of that. Self-esteem, low self-esteem, lack of self-confidence. No, this is who you are to the core. So you being soft, who God already called you to be. Like before you were in your mother's womb, he knew you. Before that thing hurt you, before that person hurt you, before the betrayal happened, this is who you were. You were soft. You were yourself to the core until you were exposed to what the world can offer and what the world can do, what the people in the world can do. But to the core of you, like that gentleness is still on the inside of you. But you know, when things happen in our lives, it causes our hearts to be hardened. But soft life to me is when you do the work to unharden your heart. And it's not you that's going to do it, but that's why you need a real relationship with God. Number 12, we are leaving procrastination. We're no longer going to procrastinate. And when you procrastinate, that's a form of self-sabotage. And in Proverbs chapter 13, verse 4, it says, "The soul of a lazy man desires and has nothing. That means you have all of these desires, you have all of these wants, that you have all of these goals, but since you are not willing to do the work because you are lazy, because you choose to sleep in bed, because you choose to be idle with your time, because you choose to sit on the phone instead of get into work, you choose to be scrolling on social media and instead of getting in your word, or instead of doing what you need to do in order for you to be successful. You know exactly what that thing is. You know exactly what you've been putting off. You know exactly what you're doing. But and many times it's from self-sabotage, because you are the only person holding you back. God wants to give you these good things. He doesn't withhold anything good from us. But we have to go through the process, one. And sometimes we delay the process because we don't want to move forward, because we're not willing to do the work, because we're spending time doing the wrong things. So it says, the soul of a lazy man desires but has nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made rich. The lazy man desires what hardworking people want: house, food, vacations, money for college and retirement. But the lazy man desires remains unsatisfied, while the diligent gains wealth. So your procrastination will keep you in a box. We have to kill that thing called procrastination. We have to stop self-sabotaging. We have to push past it. You can't wait to be motivated, because it's going to be days that you wake up and you don't feel motivated to get up and do the thing, to get up and work towards the goal. But you have to know that you have purpose and you are needed. What you have is needed in this world, and God has need of you. So that shall fuel you. Your purpose shall fuel you to get up and do that very thing. That you will not be, you will not spend idle time doing the wrong thing. That you will get up and pursue purpose. You will get up and not be procrastinating, because you know what you have is needed. And without you moving forward, a lot of people stay back. Without you moving forward, you stay back. And no longer will you stay back, because we're going to cancel procrastination. You know how we're going to cancel? We got to just get up and go. Don't wait to be motivated, because it's going to be days that you're not going to be motivated. You're not going to want to get up and do it. But your purpose is going to drive you to do it. Even when I don't want to do it, I get up and go. That's the mindset we need to have. It's getting dark. The sun is going down. So I'm going to wrap this up. Are y'all getting this right now? I hope y'all are getting this, because it is so important that we leave these things in 2023 in order for us to fully glow up in 2024. Our 2024 is not going to look like what our 2023 did. How we're ending 2023, I'm asking God for a 180 shift. This is the shift that is going to happen. But first, it has to happen within us. First, it has to happen within our minds. That's why we can't stay stuck. That's why we can't continue to negative self-talk. That's why we can't continue to dumb ourselves down. That's why we can't continue to connect ourselves with the wrong people. That's why we can't spend money that we do not have. That's why we can't stay in this lack mindset and accept mediocrity. We don't want mediocrity from other people, but we accept mediocrity from ourselves. Think about it. Have you really gave it your all before you gave up, before you started to procrastinate, before you started to doubt yourself? Did you really give it your all? Did you know for sure God called you to that thing and you gave it your all and it didn't work out? Come on. God will give you another strategy. Let's just try again. Don't ever give up on yourself. We're not giving up. We're not starting and not finishing. We're going to start and finish everything that we start. 2024, that is the standard. We're starting and finishing everything in this new season of our lives. And most importantly, I'm going to leave us with this. Do not be scared of failure. We're leaving the fear of failure, because that's what's stopping you from actually going forward, actually pursuing the goal, actually even trying or applying to that job, or applying for school, or starting the business, or starting ministry, starting that prayer call, that Bible study, because you feel like you're going to fail, or you feel like you're not enough. God already equipped you to do the thing. Stop talking yourself out of what God already ordained you to do. I need you to be more confident. I need you to walk into this new year boldly and like you know who you called you to be there. First of all, you already woke up. If you wake up in 2024, God already called you to be here. So you might as well just do what you get up and do. This is a get up and do season. A get up and do season. That's the standard. That is the standard. I'm going to leave you all with this. We have to let this go. This is the most important. Letting go of grudges and unforgiveness. We cannot take that into our new year, because if we want to fully receive all of God's blessings, all of his gifts that he already has stored on the inside of us, in order for those things to be activated, we cannot go into this new year holding people in our heart, holding offense in our minds and in our heart as well. We have to fully let go and free these people from our hearts and our minds. Let go of the hurt. Listen, I know we hear this all the time. It's for us and not them. But I'm telling you, let me reiterate this. The more you hold on to this baggage, the more you hold on to what has already left you, what has already happened, it keeps you stuck. It keeps you in a place in the past where your years are passing by, days are moving forward, hours are passing, but you're still living in what happened to you 5 years ago. And you're wondering why nothing will never work out for you. You're wondering why you repeat in the same cycles, because it keeps you stuck in what you went through. We can no longer live in the past, because it already happened. All you have to focus on is healing, and that is for you. Healing from past traumas, from past hurts. That is important. But letting go and freeing those people, because they do not have they shouldn't have that much power over your life. You're giving these people too much power. It already happened. It's time for you to free yourself. And if it's a struggle for you, that's why we have God. God helps us with all of these things, these big burdens. He know we can't do it, because if it was up to us, we would hold on to the day we okay. He know we will hold on. But it's doable. But you have to have a made up mind that this is what you really want, and you're willing to give it up. You have to be willing to let go. You have to be willing to have open hands to receive. And when you hold on to unforgiveness and grudges from past hurts, you don't have room to receive what God has for you, because your hands are tied. Your hands and your feet are bound to the past. Something that already happened. Yeah, you're living in this new year, but your mind, your heart is in what happened to you in the past. But your body is present in the future. Your body is present in the present. Am I making sense? So let go of unforgiveness and grudges and offense. This is only to bless your life, because we can't go into this new season with old things. We are made new. We have a renewed mind. We're going into this with a kingdom mindset and a heart ready to receive all the goodness that God has for us. Until next time, I'm so excited for this new year that is coming for us, because I'm believing that God is just going to move mightily in our lives, and I just cannot wait. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Welcome to the family. And do not forget to share. Share this with all of your girlfriends, your family members, your sister, your cousin. Everybody needs to hear this message. Love y'all.